Keeney says, Renfail sir, just saw your YouTube short video about the dude commenting on your age and gaming. Loved your response. I'm 38 years myself. Get a lot of comments myself, especially from the in-laws that know I started streaming. They say it's for the kids and I should start growing up. Yeah, fuck them. That's exactly what you need to tell your in-laws. Mind your own business. We have been in a creator economy now for like 15 years. One of the, just moving beyond streaming for a minute. Let me get to the safety of my house and talk about this for just a second. All anyone has to do is go to like Patreon. Patreon's a little outdated these days. We're probably a good 5-8 years beyond the popularity of Patreon as being a primary source of a place for people to go to like do cool things. But we started off with like things like Etsy, where people could make cool arts and crafts, put it up on Etsy, and sell their creations to people all around the world from their home. And then we had Patreon, where you could take your community, whether it's from Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or Twitter or wherever your community was from, and you could send them over to your Patreon page, and you could do lots of different cool things, like create items or have people sponsor directly the content that you're making. And it's a great way to monetize whatever it is that you want to do, your passions in life. And there are people who have done some amazingly creative stuff with not just handcrafted goods, but also things like, I'm going to go travel the world and I'm going to be a travel blogger, or now it's travel vlogging because of YouTube and TikTok and things of this nature. Or, you can sponsor my series on this. I'm going to create a graphic novel. I'm going to make a short film. We've got things like Kickstarter. We've got things like Indiegogo. We've got places where you can fund tabletop games. Back in the day, I used to sell ebooks through a place called... shit, now I'm blanking on it. Oh, wow. There was a website that we used to use to sell ebooks, and I wish I could remember it now. Gumroad is one of the ones that's used these days. eJunkie, that's what it was called, eJunkie. Used to sell ebooks through eJunkie, and I remember in 2011 was when I went to Colombia, came back. I launched my first ebook in 2012 on eJunkie, and I sold $50,000 worth of ebooks in that first year on that first ebook ever sold. That book was called The Expat Guidebook: How to Make a Living Traveling the World While Earning Money Online as a Digital Nomad Writer, as a freelance writer and photographer. People have been finding creative ways to make money on the internet for a long time now. I've told people almost every day when we're talking in streams, we get people asking questions about, like, I have been making money online with a public-facing, in this manner, online, on the internet, with my face in front of a camera since 2008 was when I started. First with a MySpace page, then with a Facebook page, then with a Twitter account, then with an Instagram account, and then with a YouTube channel, then with, TikTok, now with Twitch and YouTube and all these other things. And I have sold ebooks, I've sold my services as a photographer, I've sold my services as a videographer, I've done digital marketing of all types, I've done public speaking, I've done, 20, 30 different things. At one point along the way, I was doing WordPress templates for people and installing WordPress on their sites, like 1 or 2 a year. You need people to come pay me $5,000 to build a website and be like, okay, I can do that for you. Like, there are so many ways to use the power of the internet and make a living doing what you want to do rather than be a wage slave to someone else's dreams and passions. And it does come with risks, obviously. You can't take, there's no sick days. There's no one to fill in for you if you're not feeling good. Like, you have to put in the time. But in-laws and other people who say things like, oh, that's for kids, you need to grow up. Fuck that shit. Like, yeah, Trevor says criticizing other people's hobbies is for people who live such boring lives they don't have hobbies themselves. Correct. And there's also the mentality that you're not supposed to make money at something that you love. Like your job is to be something you do no matter what, and you're supposed to be miserable at your job and then take your passions and do that in your spare time. That is like one of the most, and I said that in the other video that went viral across all the platforms a couple weeks back. It's such a bass-ackwards way of thinking. That is the boomer generation telling you, well, we had to do jobs that we didn't like our whole lives. You shouldn't be allowed to do things that you like and make money off it. That's just wrong. No. The creator economy is a great time to be alive in, and it's only going to get better because as we get virtual reality and as the internet continues to expand and we continue to have more platforms um, beyond, like I just mentioned, I don't know, 10 or 15 platforms that I've used over the past, 15, 20 years. There are going to be more platforms. Like we already have new things like Kick and Rumble and other platforms where people are creating content, and we're going to come up with new evolutions of the Patreon model and the Etsy model and YouTube and all this other stuff. These things will just continue to evolve over the rest of our lives and beyond that. And I said this, we were just talking about this yesterday, I think, during the live stream, because we were showing off Martin's YouTube channel with the home, because I have the Homestead channel outside of this, and I said the next iteration of what I do is as soon as Chris and I have the money to buy that second piece of property, I'm going to be putting pretty much all of my face time into building that property and doing all of that on YouTube through that other YouTube channel. And I'll stream here occasionally, but I'll be spending most of my time building that property up and building that place up from scratch to have the art studio that Chris wants and the writing studio that I want. And then I'm going to go back to writing fantasy and science fiction full time. Like that's the next evolution that I've already planned out for myself. And I will continue to make money using the power of the internet and having my face in front of a camera until I'm dead. Like literally, there is no reason for me to ever stop, like what Nigel said, doing what you love to do. Like there's no reason to not do that. We were doing this here. I'll show you guys something really quick because I pulled these up for a video I'm doing tonight. Hang on, I gotta pull this up really quick so you guys can see something that I'm talking about. So I've been doing this new series that people ask me to do on how to make a living, right? Doing this, streaming and doing content creation. But I've been making money a long time on the internet. And before this was game development, before game development was public speaking, before public speaking was travel writing, photography, videography, etc. And I actually pulled up a couple of old... Here, let me show this. Actually, let me open these in Google. This will be a better way to do this. I was going to just show them off in Discord, but I can pull these up in... this is from the last conference where my wife and I were presenting on brand building and social media marketing, digital marketing. This is in Killarney, Ireland, with Fáilte Ireland, which is the National Tourism Board, as the primary sponsor, as well as the TBEX travel conference. I did 7 or 8 speaking engagements with that company as an example. And then I used to do travel writing full time. And this was one of the last articles I wrote for the Adventure Collection, which is a collection of like 9 different travel companies. And I wrote this video about Eduardo Jornet, who is the father of Kilian Jornet, who is a crazy psychopathic like mountain climber, Olympic athlete who climbs mountains. And he had just done like this oxygen-free mounting of Everest like the week before this. These are all my photos, you know, going. I mean, this is what Chris and I used to do. Like, I have been making money. This is 2017, and this was at the tail end of my travel writing phase because I went into full-time game development in 2018. And like this kind of stuff, like this goes back a ways, like going out there and, you know, having these press tours and going out on these massive adventures. So the idea of like making money on the internet pursuing your passions can go way, 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 way beyond doing this, which is playing video games. Because I've done lots of different things on the internet, and I think that's one of the most powerful aspects of the internet is the ability for you to do what you want to do if you think outside the box. You do have to work hard, you do have to apply yourself. Um, but I would like to think, I never finished high school. I'm a high school dropout. I never went to college. I speak 2 languages. I've traveled the world. I've accomplished every single item on my bucket list I ever wanted to do. I got to visit so many countries. I got to live that Indiana Jones lifestyle that I wanted. The pictures are of happy people. It's so weird. I know, right? um, and just you can do anything you want to do with the power of the internet. All it takes is the willingness to apply yourself and pursue it. But you have to pursue it. Like, it's not just going to fall in your lap. Like, it does require hard work and dedication and just doing things day in and day out. Like, I get a lot of people who ask me why I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to start streaming at 4:30 in the morning with my, and I'm like, because lazy people don't get anywhere in life, and duh, like, that's that simple. Like, you can be a schmuck living in your mom's basement, or, right, like James MC says, you can put in the hard work and achieve your goals and achieve what you want to do in life. I am not a millionaire. I may never be a millionaire, but I have done everything I ever wanted to do in life. I have bought everything I ever wanted. I have traveled to all the countries I wanted to go to. I have created and sold multiple businesses. And now I'm semi-retired on a tiny piece of property, but it is paid for piece of property with my wife, who has all the animals she's ever wanted. Actually, not all the animals she ever wants, because she wants more, which is why we're getting into the, buying another property. And like I said, last Sunday, we were just out looking at other properties to turn to, and that's stuff that gets documented over on the Homestead channel. So it's like, so to go back to what Keeney was saying, getting a lot of comments from the in-laws, they need to fuck right off, as one would say.